As we wind down 2011, I asked Tina Martini and David Susler, the Inside Out columnists, to kind of reflect on what they've enjoyed most about doing the column. So I guess I'll start with Tina. What have you enjoyed most about this column?
What I've really enjoyed is connecting with so many people in the process of writing the column as well as doing our videos. I've heard from some folks who I've lost touch with over the years. I've met some new people, and it's really just terrific, the support that we've gotten in writing the column. And really, I think the biggest plus for me is knowing that folks find it helpful. I mean, that's really why David and I started this column, was to try to help folks and to just give them maybe a different way of looking at some of the major issues and the major topics of interest and discussion in the legal profession. And it's just been a lot of fun working with David and getting a chance to really exchange ideas.
Mm-hmm. Those are the two essential thoughts that came to my mind as well. Over this past year, I actually had, after our law school column, I had a couple of different students, I think one law student and one undergrad, who called, actually it was two undergrads, who contacted me saying, I read your column, and would you be willing to talk to me for a few minutes? So it's really, it makes me feel really good to know that I touched somebody in that way and that they felt comfortable enough to reach out to me, and I got to talk to them. And I always tell people one of the best parts about it is doing the column with Tina. And you know, it's nice as spouses to get to relate in such a different way than we ordinarily would have, and get to, I know how smart she is, but to get to really see the inner workings of her mind. And I'm just blown away every month that we work on this column.
Has it gotten any easier doing the video and doing the column, or is it a challenge?
It's a challenge every month. Yeah, I mean, we really want this to be helpful and useful and interesting and enjoyable. And it's, like Tina said, it's nice to know that people are reading it and they enjoy it. And you know, it sets the bar higher and higher every month. So it's a new challenge every month, and it's a lot of fun to see, well, what can we come up with?
I think it has gotten easier for both of us. It's funny, a few folks have asked what's the process, because they find it interesting just the way in which the column is set up and the dynamic. And it's much more of a routine now, but in a good way. There's a lot more comfort to it. I think there's a certain mindset we both get into as we're contemplating the answers to the questions and just trying to really think about and reflect on the general topics before we come in and talk with you about them. I think it's definitely like almost tapping a part of your brain, and once you exercise it for a while, it gets easier.
Do you each have a favorite column that we've done?
I like a lot of them, but I think the role models column we did last year is still my favorite.
Mm-hmm. The role models column was special because we really shared a very personal side to ourselves, which I'm perfectly happy to do, because I do think that to help others and to bring them along, so much of doing that effectively really entails kind of tapping what your own personal experience is, both in terms of schooling as well as professional. But so much of who we are and how we approach work in our profession, I think, is really based on the life experiences that we bring to the table. And so I'm happy to share that too.
And why should lawyers do something like this? I mean, what benefit can lawyers get, and what benefit have you both gotten out of doing something like this?
Out of writing the column?
Doing the column and the video.
Well, I mean, there's a lot. You know, we talked about leadership. I think it helps. It helps give me some confidence, extra confidence. I mean, even after being a lawyer for so many years, you know, we're all human, and it's nice to know that what we do resonates with others. I think it helps add leadership. We learn, you know, some of the columns we may have some knowledge already, but we have to learn more to say something new. it's, you know, again, on the personal side, it's a way for us to relate and work together that's very different from, I think, the way that husbands and wives normally get to relate to each other.
I really like just the ideas and the thought leadership, and the conversation that some of our columns have evoked that we're aware of, and being able to help people. I know that David had heard from an attorney that he knew a number of years ago with the mentoring column that we did, where we were told that we really helped him approach the junior associates and more junior attorneys that he was working with in a different way, that we made him think about it differently. And I guess that's really what this is all about, is that, as David said, we're learning so much about just the process, but also just the exchange of ideas between ourselves, but also the conversation that's evoked among folks who read it and share with us, and just knowing that other folks are kind of talking among themselves, or at least sitting back and thinking about these issues, because these are fundamental issues, not just within the legal profession, but I think within our community as well.
Yeah, I mean, bettering the legal profession, making a difference in the legal profession, and making a difference for other lawyers is something that's important to both of us. I think it's important for many lawyers. So to do something like this, it gives you a wider audience, a broader audience.
Okay, well, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.